morning.
Say again, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Bill Gravel. Good morning. My name is Bill Gravel, and I'm the Williamson County Judge. I want to have and take a few moments to update you on where we're at as a county, but I also want to take a few moments to introduce some local leaders from our school districts. Today is not just about announcing the schools that are closed in Williamson County. Today is just as much about announcing the steps, the extraordinary steps that our cities are taking, that our school districts are taking, and that our county is taking and working together. And I want to say this from the beginning. As the Williamson County Judge, I'm still excited to announce, and I'm knocking on wood, that we have no confirmed cases of the coronavirus in Williamson County. I also want to say that I believe we're at that point because we've been forward-leaning on making decisions that are important to protect our community. We do have several school districts here to talk today. They'll talk about the services that they'll be providing at their local district level. And I want to assure you from the beginning that before this press conference is over, you will discover that every kid in Williamson County, starting on Monday, will be provided breakfast or lunch in some form through one of our school districts. I'm excited about the work that they're doing. Following all the school districts will be available for 2 or 3 questions. And then we need to shut this off because we're going to other important matters. I want to introduce to you Derek, who is the head of the Williamson County Health District, to remind you of a few things this morning that's important, and then we'll introduce each superintendent subsequent to that. Derek.
Thank you, Judge Gravel. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank. Sorry. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank the leadership of the county, specifically Judge Gravel, for really being forward-thinking and just a visionary in terms of prevention. And I think that's one of the primary reasons why we don't have a confirmed positive case, because of our proactive efforts. So thank you to the leadership of Williamson County. One of the things I want to remind individuals of is at this point, we don't want to have any handshaking whatsoever amongst any of our persons, and we want to keep safe distances. Practice safe distances. Yes, that's what we want to do. That's incredibly important. It's really important to understand that as citizens feeling healthy in Williamson County or anywhere else, you still can serve as a vector. So you can feel really good, but you can be taking something back to your loved one with regards to passing the coronavirus, because we have susceptible populations. So really be considerate of your neighbor by keeping those safe distances. Those things are incredibly important to us. Again, as Judge Gravel stated earlier, we have no confirmed cases in Williamson County, and we base our investigation methods on available data, surveillance, and epi processes in terms of how we identify individuals who may be positive for COVID-19. Again, we're asking that our leadership be proactive in really just promoting that your employees keep those safe spaces and really practice those universal precautions with regards to hand washing and overall hygiene. It's something about this disease that we don't know, but we do know how it spreads. So while we're trying to figure out the unknown, and that's what they're doing on a national level, please work with us on those preventive methods. We're asking that no mass gatherings take place in Williamson County for the next 8 weeks, and individuals following me will go into greater detail when it comes to that. And I'm asking that each of you visit the CDC's website and look at what President Trump posted with regards to what we need to do as a community in the next 15 days to keep ourselves safe. But again, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the Williamson County Health Department, Health District. We have some of the top EPIs in the state of Texas, and I'm not just saying that. This is my 3rd health department, so I can attest to their level of excellence and the service that they provide to Williamson County. And they're part of the reason why we're safe at this time, but we want to make sure that we continue being safe. I want to bring up Dr. Fred Brent, who's going to be our next speaker.
right, thank you very much. My name is, we turned it off. There we go. My name is Fred Brent, and I have the privilege of serving as superintendent of schools in Georgetown ISD. Before I begin, I just want to let everyone know that the men and women around here, the superintendents of schools throughout Williamson County, we all know that we are a foundation of our community. Public schools are critical to the success of our communities and across the county. And I can assure you that during this unprecedented time, none of us have seen this throughout our careers. We are on the phone every day together. 7 days a week, we have a conference call with our commissioner, TEA Commissioner Mike Morath. We also have conference calls together as a team, and we're always coordinating services and offering partnerships. When all this began, Judge Gravel called all of us and said, how can we work together? How can we help? How can we share resources? So what I want our parents and our community members to know in every district is that we are here to secure the future for our kids and their education. While we are closing schools, we are going to all provide instructional supports for our students. Each one of us has teams throughout our district, and we're sharing inter-district resources so that kids can continue their learning. We are asked often, are we going to be required to make these days up? As of right now, there are codings for this COVID-19 and attendance laws, and we are working through giving credit for instructional supports that we provide as districts in the hope that we do not make these days up. However, what is decided by the state, we will be letting you know. But I can promise you this, we know and we are confident that we're going to provide instructional supports for all students. Beginning Monday, we will provide breakfast and lunch in Georgetown. It's from 7:30 to 9 and from 11:30 to 1 at 3 different campus locations. You can go to our website at www.georgetown.isd.org with all this information. We're distributing Chromebooks for all students who need a Chromebook. We have well over 100 Wi-Fi hotspots available to community members who do not have Wi-Fi access. And we are providing mental health and counseling services continued throughout the times that we are closed. Many of our students need our counselors every day, and I can promise you this, our counselors throughout our district and all of our districts are working to make sure we can reach our students who need to speak with someone that they know cares about them and someone that they know they can trust. So with that, I just want to assure you that we are here for our kids, we are here for our communities, and we are confident that we will work through this effectively and things will be great on the other side. With that, I'd like to introduce Dr. Brown from Taylor. Thank you. Oh, hang on. I'm just going to let you do that.
Hello, my name is Keith Brown. I'm the superintendent of schools at Taylor ISD. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. First of all, trying to see if I can get some smiles out there. In Taylor ISD, we began feeding all of our students in southeast Williamson County yesterday morning. We have a feeding site at Main Street Intermediate, 3101 North Main, and they're feeding lunch and breakfast. That information is posted on the website. We've invited all the school districts in southeast Williamson County to participate if they have children that are hungry, so they can get over there and eat. Starting Wednesday, we've been approved to have mobile feeding sites. We'll have 12 mobile feeding sites in the city of Taylor, delivering food to our neighborhoods that need the food the most. So all that information will be on our website, www.taylorisd.org. All of the information about instruction will be placed on the website and supports. So if you just tune into our website, you have it made. Like Fred said, we are all participating with TEA daily. That's 7 days a week for an hour. Conference calls statewide, over 1,000 people are on those calls every day. We're also on DSHS conferences every day. So we're getting a lot of information. The main thing that I'd like to say today is we will support our kids. We're going to keep the state of Texas going. And if we all work together for the next 15 to 20 days, we can all get through this together and we'll come out on the other side. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Bill Chapman, Gerald ISD.
My wife will be very proud about this, by the way. She's been a germaphobe long before this ever occurred. My name is Bill Chapman. I'm a student from Gerald ISD. And our goal in Gerald ISD, the best probability is to provide school without kids coming to school. That's all that we're trying to do. Like we mentioned, our food service will start Monday as well. We'll have breakfast from 7:30 to 9, lunch from 12 to 1:30. IGO Elementary will be the spot where we provide grab-and-go meals. We're also sending information to our parents starting today to provide feedback on opening up 3 or 4 or possibly 5 meal drop-off locations. And so all of our information, like everyone you'll hear, go to our website. Ours is www.geraldisd.org, and our social media pages. We will keep our parents informed as much as we can through this process. In regards to academic situations, our teams are meeting starting, I told them not to, but they already started working on things, trying to get them spring break as well. We're hoping by Wednesday of next week, we have information for our parents to begin learning in some fashion. Our goal is to get something out first, and then we'll follow up with more detailed things as we move along, as we have time and teachers have time to plan and prep and provide lessons that can be done both online and offline. We know that our community, we have to provide low-tech options as well. We are going to hit on as many devices as we can, but we'll have some students who will have to have low-tech options. We're going to make sure that exists as well. This is uncharted territory for all of us. The one thing I can say that I'm most proud of is, as everyone mentioned, we've been working together before this started. This has probably had us work more closely together. And the best thing I can say is I can call Fred Britt in Georgetown, I can call Dr. Gehring at Leander, and although I'm a small school with just around 2,200 kids, I can get the same resources they're providing their staff to help my staff in these times of need. And so I really appreciate that, and I appreciate the time and effort all these gentlemen and ladies spend taking care of the kids all throughout Williamson County. Thank you. And next I have Dr. Steve Flores from Round Rock ISD.
Thank you, Dr. Chapman. We do in Round Rock ISD know that challenges are just other opportunities, and we in Round Rock ISD servicing 51,000 students, 7,500 employees, we know that our best days are ahead. So thank you for being here, and also I hope that we give a round of applause to Judge Gravel and all of Williamson County for making sure that we are prepared and not scared. So let's give him a round of applause. And as my colleagues have said, we have plans that'll be better communicated tomorrow on our website, roundrockisd.org. But in the meantime and in the interim, we know that a lot of parents are wondering about the educational opportunities and the things that are really right now for us secondary. Our primary function is to gather and be one family, one team, and don't worry about the small stuff. We're going to make sure through daily contact with TEA, and they've been very supportive, we know that the right decisions for our kids and our communities will be made. So with that, I just want you to know that we are well prepared for the duration. You know, the toughest thing, we know the critical nature that schools and the services that schools provide. We know that with disruptions of school services, there are disruptions. But when we get through this, and we don't know, we announced yesterday till April 3rd, but we don't know. These are unprecedented times, and it's going to call for unprecedented action, but together we are better than ever before. So again, thank you, and let me introduce Dr. Bruce Gehring, the superintendent of Leander ISD. Dr. Gehring.
It's a habit.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Bruce Gehring, Superintendent of Leander ISD, and I bring you greetings today from the Board of Trustees of the Leander ISD, and specifically our Board President, Trish Bodie. As a team of 8 and as an administrative team, we are working diligently and totally virtually to make sure that all of our students are fed, they're kept well physically and mentally as much as we can, that they have instructional opportunities as we work into next week. And we're trying to make sure too that our staff stays healthy and able to provide the resources that our students need to continue to be successful as we go through the rest of this year. We are closed until April the 3rd for right now. We will be reassessing that on the Thursday before the weeks that follow in order to make a decision on a week-by-week basis after that. We are being very strict with our shutdown of facilities. We are not allowing anybody into our facilities. All of our custodial staff are working to do deep cleans this week, and then we intend to keep our buildings tightly shut down in order to keep them germ-free. So we thank you very much. We thank Judge Bill Gravel from Williamson County, and we look forward to working together as we go forward. And I'd like to introduce Stephen Snell from Liberty Hill ISD.
All right, thank you. And I would also like to echo the sentiments of my colleagues and thank everybody for their collaboration and support during this process. I'm Steve Snell. superintendent of Liberty Hill, and like all the districts, we're going to feed our kids starting Monday at Liberty Hill Junior High. We'll have a drive-through service, and we will also provide lunch and breakfast at bus stops, and children will use their smart tags for that. We're currently finalizing plans for instructional engagement and continuing the education with as little interruption as possible online. That'll take a little time. I think everybody up here would agree with me when I say we need patience from our communities as we are figuring out problems, and we have more questions than answers at this point. But be patient with us, be nice to each other, be kind, encourage everybody to pray for all of us and for the families and the nation as we get through this, because we will get through this together, I guarantee that. Other things, we will just have more information like everybody. Look at the website, check your email. We'll communicate constantly with our parents through email, through Facebook, through all those methods to make sure our kids are taken care of. We're all working out plans for our fragile kids in special education, but those details will come out a little bit later. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce Dr. Selena Thomas with Hutto ISD.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Selena Estella Thomas, Superintendent for Hutto ISD. My staff affectionately calls me the head hippo, and I'm great with that. So I'm just going to echo everybody else's response. We're working diligently to make sure that we keep our children fed and that we continue to provide instruction. I think it's important to emphasize one key message here is that while we're closing facilities and closing buildings, we're not shutting down school. Normal school operations may not continue as we know them. They're going to look differently. We've had to modify a lot of our internal processes. Our buildings are closed, but we have plans to continue teaching and learning. And so, like all of my fellow colleagues, for Hutto ISD, information will be posted on the website. We're at hipponation.org. We will have information posted by the end of the week. Our buildings are closed from March 23rd until April 3rd, and then we will assess at that time. I also want to take this opportunity, if Commissioner Morath is listening or if he sees this newscast later, he has been incredible throughout this entire process. We are on daily calls with him, daily communications. He's fielding just thousands and thousands of emails and questions, and every time he comes on at 3 o'clock, he's calm, he's the voice of reason, and I know I speak for many of my colleagues when I tell you that we just appreciate his leadership in having direction and having a location where we can call and ask of our questions, because there's a lot of unknowns as we proceed, as we work through the next 2 weeks. So once again, our information will be posted. Our two primary focus areas, of course, feeding our children and providing remote instruction. At this time, I want to introduce, I think he's our last one, Dr. Tommy Hooker. He's Superintendent in Throb.
Thank you. Thank you, Selena. So aren't we in the greatest state and definitely the greatest county that's around? I feel like we have such great leaders, great students. Let's give it a big round of applause. We were all a little apprehensive, and what these guys said are very important with this whole thing with the COVID-19 and the uncertainties and all of the things that surround it. But our county came together, and we were able to, in a very quick manner, decide that we're going to be unified in this whole effort. I want to start by saying that representing Thurl ISD Superintendent Tommy Hooker, very proud of our school district, very proud of our students, very proud of the administrative team and the board for their efforts that they've already made. I think the biggest fear lies with the unknowns of all of the things that we're researching. You know, we don't think it's going to be a major thing as far as our young kiddos, but it's those young kiddos passing along something that may affect a person who has some conditions, or a person who
may be suffering from different things. So those are the unknowns that we're very uncertain about. We've come together, we've talked about those, and we're going to work together. And Thrall ISD, our information will be on the website, it will be on Facebook, we're going to push that out. We have grab-and-go lunches and breakfasts going on right now. We have a lot of takers in that effort. I want to add one group that didn't get mentioned a whole lot that has been a huge part because they work closely with our Education Commissioner, Mike Morath, who has been awesome. Region 13. We're all part of Region 13, and our service center has been amazing as well. And they're just such a part of us that we just tend to think that they're one of us. So Region 13 is another one. I'm going to end by saying it's our job as education leaders to be models. And so what we're trying to do is model for our students, for our community. As you saw with just each of us, it's hard to lay off the handshakes. It's hard to lay off all of those things. So the days ahead, we just have to realize we're a creature of habit. We have things that we do, and we need to change some of those habits, especially right now because it is a sensitive time, and that's just very important for us. As we return, the STAR has been suspended. That is a great thing for our community. It's a great thing for our teachers. It's a great thing for our students. But there's a whole lot more in life that we have and that we're responsible for teaching right now. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Judge Gravel.
I want to say a personal thank you to the school districts, and I want to share with you the 3 or 4 extraordinary steps that I've asked them to take to assist Williamson County as an example of collaboration and teamwork. Schools were not designed to do what we're encountering now, and in fact, in county government, we prepare for disasters often. There are tornadoes, though, and flooding, and there are hurricanes. But it's really difficult to prepare for a disaster that you cannot see. But we believe that the disaster is real, and we believe that we need to take appropriate steps to protect our community. Some examples of collaboration, and I'm so impressed with what our school districts have done. Knowing that they were shutting down, I said, if you shut down your schools, could you provide us 15 nurses to backfill and support our health district? And our school districts said yes. I asked them, if you're shutting down your operations, could we have 5 mechanics that repair your buses or your automobiles to work on our county fleet services? Because we still need our ambulances to run, and they are. We still need our sheriff's deputies, our constable's deputies, and all law enforcement officers, and they are working collaboratively with us for mechanics. I also asked a few of the school districts, Hutto ISD, I also asked Liberty Hill ISD, if you're not having school on Monday, could we please have your peace officers? And could they report to the sheriff's office? Round Rock ISD has a contract with Williamson County for, I believe, 10 peace officers. Sheriff's deputies, they're reporting to county on Monday for county services. That's what you do when you have to work together. It's collaboration and it's teamwork. I'm also excited in the days ahead, if it's technically possible, we're going to be standing up a daycare facility for our county employees that are essential and non-essential employees. I still have 911 operators that need to do their job, but they will lose their child care in school come Monday. We're working to set up those daycare centers, and we'll announce those in the days ahead. But my thank you from the school district is this. If we set up those daycare centers, could you guys deliver breakfast there for us? Could you deliver lunch there for us? And every time our school district has said yes. And I want to say thank you for being supportive and thank you for being a team. I also want to make it clear to the media that's here, these same asks that have been of the school district, we're making those same requests from our city officials when we have needs, and we're providing resources to them when they have needs. The one thing that I've learned about the coronavirus is this, is that if you're in Williamson County and if you're in Central Texas, you need to take a deep breath, because your state elected officials and your county elected officials and your city elected officials and your school leaders are working together collaboratively to solve problems. We're being asked to solve problems we didn't know existed yesterday, and we're finding honorable, lawful, and creative ways to meet those needs even today. Now, one special announcement from Williamson County for the media. Effective noon this day, all county tax offices in Williamson County that are open to the public, that public portion will be closed down, and all of those services will continue to be available through our online services and different connectivity here in Williamson County. We're shutting our offices, those tax offices, down to not only protect the employees, but this tax office just down the street averages about 100 people every 15 to 30 minutes coming through there. We're trying to practice social distancing, but taking care of our community and protecting our community. Again, I want to say thank you to the school district, and then I have one last comment before 3 questions. I want to say thank you to the media. I can't imagine the stress that you're under trying to deliver a story. I can't imagine the stress that you're under in the media by being at different locations wondering, am I standing by someone that is infected or someone that is not? I know that you're exhausted, and I know that you're tired, and I want to say this to the members of the media that maybe you even have doubts in what's going on. I want to say this to the members of the media. You just need to be prepared and do your job, and there's never been a more important time for media than now, I believe, in our nation's history. And it takes you delivering that message that's being sent from state and county leaders to our community. And I want to say thank you. The social distancing that you're practicing is appropriate, but we've only begun this process. And I think we have days that are ahead that's going to require equal sacrifice from all of us. And again, as your county judge, I simply want to remind you of this. Be prepared and don't be scared. Together, we've got this thing. And it will just take time for us to work our systems and to be successful. Now, we'll take 3 questions, and then I have to part for a conference call. I'd appreciate if the questions were directed to the county judge and no pressure was put unnecessarily upon superintendents who didn't know they were going to get a question. All right, are there any questions from the media?
I guess just what would be the next step? You know, we've seen different restaurants closing, across different cities and states. Is that something, a measure you'll look to do moving forward if there is a potential confirmed case here?
I would tell you this, that Williamson County is preparing for what that next step is. We're unsure of if there will be a decision or when that decision will be made, but if it's necessary, I'm willing to sign another order to protect our community. We're trying to balance the opening of businesses with things that are really important. For example, it's very important right now that our Walmarts are functioning, that our H-E-Bs or Targets or CVS, right, and our Walgreens. It's important that our local businesses, those that are able to deliver food service, are at least able to provide that in such a way where customers can come in and purchase that and take those products away. There may be additional directions coming out today from our office, but we have not made that final decision today. All right, no other questions? That is a good day. Thank you guys, and remember, be prepared, don't be scared. Yeah.